All right, what up, perps? This is just a hangout. Been playing around, uh, just goofing off. I'm trying to see. I keep an eye on the list today from the Supremes to see whether they are going to redistribute. Who is it? Snope and Gray, or whether they're going to take the cases. So we shall see. I know there's a bunch of people biting their nails right now. What the hell's going on with this? That's not what I wanted to do. Oh, hell, I know what I'm doing. I think. No, I'm supposed to be live. Jess, what's up, brother? So why in hell is this acting crazy? Besides the fact that it's just me. Forget about these new. All right, there it is. Jess, how you doing today, brother? Hope you're doing well. I've probably been driving everybody damn crazy, bouncing on and off like I am. Trying to figure out this freaking streaming stuff. But it is what it is. I'm having a little fun. I was trying to find some more information. I know it's Snope and Jennings. Or Snope and Gray. Before the in-laws come to town. That's one thing, man, and people joke about it a lot of times. I love my in-laws to death, so I don't have any problems when they're coming over. Some people, man, I've known people, man, they cannot stand their in-laws. Uh, I'm glad I'm not in that boat. Matter of fact, we're headed to their place in just a little bit. Oh shit! Hold on. We might show. I think whining his speech. We might have to go back and watch this. Yeah, he's into it. Let me see if I can get to the start of his speech. Yep, they keep him right underneath that 20-minute mark every single time. Let's see what old Dum Dum had to say today.
It's easy now. It's easy now as cities are thriving to forget just how tough a spot we were all in.
Just no doubt, brother.
It was a real life nightmare.
Shit.
The most disruptive global event.
Young kids' house is always trashed. I know
revenues,
it's almost impossible to keep up with them.
Taken far too many lives. American mayors had a partner working hand in hand the Inflation Reduction Act.
Hell, they might have kept Joe Biden to well under 20 on this one.
Honor. And there's no more.
Here it is. They're probably right around 15. Yeah.
Hello.
About normal for them.
Mayor Gaylor, thank you very much from Columbus, Ohio, for your leadership of this conference. Please have a seat if you have one. Thank you, Tom Cochran, for your remarkable stewardship of the U.S. Conference of Mayors for decades. I want to give a special thanks to his wife, Rita, who I just met. She's running around here.
Just
Feeling after she broke her hip. You guys doing well? Anyway, Tom, you and I have something in common. We both married way above our station. My hometown mayor.
drop that resolution down a little bit. Maybe I can stream this without it being so stupid.
Wilmington, Delaware. Thank you, John. This guy's a true public servant. He just finished 8 years as a great governor and then decided to run for mayor. A special thanks to another great friend, the mayor of my second home, Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Scranton, Pennsylvania. It's always Scranton.
It's an honor to receive this award. As I measure the significance of the award based on the character and
I'm so glad this guy is headed out of office.
The U.S. Conference of Mayors is an organization of character and consequence. Thanks to all of you for your partnership and the progress we made together.
But I hope I'm wrong about what I think is going
I
to
must
happen.
say, the big reason we got so much done is because all former mayors were part of my administration. Steve Benjamin, Pete Buttigieg, Marcia Fudge,
I'll be back in just a second.
Keisha Lance Bottom, Mitch Landrieu, Tom Vilsack, Marty Walsh. And thanks to Tom Perez, a guy like me who has been my point person for all of this, but he's a county guy. That's tougher, man. I don't know, man. This is one of the last events that I'll be doing as president. The reason I chose to be here is because the first thing that I did as president was to speak to this conference.
Cole, good afternoon, brother.
I didn't even know. I started my career as a local councilman. Only ran for the Senate because there's two.
Come out, PLA, brother man. How are you? And yes, it is Friday. Thank God.
They think you can solve every problem. They think you have more money than you do and more power than you do. You're in the front lines answering key questions of their lives. Is my neighborhood safe? My kid going to have the good fortune to be here in his hometown? Will there be jobs here? So many other questions. It matters. What you do matters.
Checking
First met 4 years
the
ago,
Supreme
the
Court's
pandemic
page again. They still haven't
Our
updated.
economy was reeling. 4 years later, our nation and our cities emerged stronger than we were when we entered the crisis. I come here today for first. My administration released a report summarizing the impact of our work
Yeah.
to invest in America.
We'll see what happens on the 20th.
One of the most
There's
significant
still
recoveries packages in our history.
rumblings about stuff getting retarded.
Saved thousands of lives.
And every time you think the Democrats can't get more retarded, they damn sure can.
Directly to you. Directly to you. I'm a local official. Governors are good guys and women. When you send it to the state legislators, they divide it up before it gets to you. It goes directly to you when I do it. So you control the outcome. Then we passed the Invest in America Act. That's launching a new era of American possibility. One of the greatest modernization of infrastructure in our history. We passed. New roads, bridges, clean water, affordable high-speed internet for every American. Now, each of you, because there's so many examples of the projects in your community. There's thousands of them. We also made the biggest investment in fighting climate change ever.
Where the hell am I even at on this damn map?
Because of you.
Shouldn't have put my TV up so high. It's killing my neck.
When I use the word here, climate, I think jobs. I think jobs when I hear climate. We're creating hundreds of thousands of good-paying, clean energy jobs.
There's jobs all over the place because it takes 9 times the amount of people to produce the energy. Ah! Something died.
You're doing both. We have to keep pushing forward. Push forward faster. There's no time to waste. I'm with you and your governors to make the devastating hurricanes and floods and tornadoes and wildfires.
Man, I don't know whether it will necessarily be the left.
Congress for extra disaster relief funding. To rebuild build homes and businesses.
but I
in
don't put it
Carolina
past them.
to cover the full cost, replacing the collapsed Key Bridge in Baltimore.
Blue Curtain Burner, what is up, my brother? How are you?
At the same time, we work with you to upgrade the power grids, plant millions of trees, build resilient communities to withstand extreme weather. Not only build, but to build back better than before. Build back better. We also made the most significant investment in science and innovation. America invented the semiconductor. Now we're bringing those chip factories back home to America where they belong. I've stood with you.
Well, we couldn't have them because you're EPA, dickhead.
Dreams, where these fabs, these massive new factories the size of several football fields are being built. And as I speak, we're going to create at least 125,000 good-paying jobs. And the jobs in these fabs pay over $100,000 a year, and you don't need a college degree. You don't have to move from your hometown. You can stay where you are. If I could pause a minute, you know what's going to happen as well? When you build these factories, they're going to have to build more barbershops, beauty salons. I'm not joking. They're going to build grocery stores. They're going to build drugstores. It grows communities in a big way. It will soon be the
People
only
are,
economy in the
I mean, he
world
is so full of
to have
shit.
all 5 of the top chip companies operating in America.
2 more days after today. 2 more.
And for the first time
But
in decades,
you guys keep your eyes peeled and stay on your toes.
Chips right here in America. These aren't
'Cause,
just fabs, these investments are creating opportunities for entire communities, for small business, creating even more jobs.
There's a.
I've kept my commitment to be president for all America, whether you voted for me or not. In fact, studies show
He's going to have to explain this entire game to me. I know how to play Fallout. 76 is a different animal.
Lowest average unemployment rate for 50 years. A record 21 million new applications to start new businesses. And every one of those applications is an act of hope in your community.
Yeah, he's using full sentences. He's still slurring a lot.
We passed the most significant gun safety law in 30 years. We're slashing overdose deaths
Kiss
by
my
26%
ass.
last year. You did it faster.
Where does he get these numbers?
And seizing records amounts of fentanyl, making life-saving Narcan available over the counter. Violent crime is now at a 50-year low.
With more states going constitutional carry, you said the death rates would go up.
Bottom line, you've produced an incredible 4 years. So much we got done together. It'll take time to see and feel those. The seeds of the planet will grow and they'll bloom for decades to come, and not one,
So I can do that.
none of it could have happened without all of you. And it's not hyperbole. None of it. You know, we're not finished yet. Earlier today, I announced 3 major priorities that mark important progress in our country. First, after fighting Big Pharma for decades as a senator and then vice president as president, we finally beat Big Pharma. Instead of paying $400 a month for insulin, seniors now pay $35 a month.
Yeah, and they'll just raise the cost on every other medication.
Starting this month, the total prescription drug cost for seniors is capped at
I picked a hell of a time to try to quit smoking.
Even expensive cancer drugs that cost $10,000, $12,000, $14,000.
Yeah, I'm back on the wagon again.
$2,000 a year.
Haven't had a cigarette since last night.
We gave Medicare the power to negotiate lower drug prices like the VA has been able to do for veterans all along. These negotiations are being implemented in phases. The first phase, negotiate a lower price for the 10 most expensive drugs for seniors, covering drugs for blood costs and so much more. And just this morning, I announced the next phase, the next 15 drugs subject to negotiations. Drugs that will treat cancer, heart disease, diabetes, and so much more, including Ozempic.
Oh, yeah, Colt.
Ozempic. Hard to say. These reforms just don't save seniors money.
Potential spam. Well, they can get bent.
$160 billion.
Leave me a message, mofo. If you're important, I'll get back to you.
Why? That $160 billion in Medicare savings from negotiating lower drug prices in big pharma doesn't have to be paid out by the government. $160 billion. Second, just over 100 years ago, a pioneering group of women proposed equal rights to men.
I'm serious. What fucking planet does this lizard
Throughout my
fucker
career,
live on?
I've been clear. No one should be discriminated against based on sex. In order for the amendment to be ratified, it requires 3/4 of the
Sorry,
states to
I popped my
ratify.
neck back.
That benchmark was passed when Virginia ratified the ERA a few years ago. Today, I affirm the Equal Rights Amendment has cleared all the necessary hurdles to be added to the U.S. Constitution now. The Equal Rights Amendment is the law of the land now. It's the 28th Amendment to the Constitution now.
Guardians. Early week. Sending devices and assignments home.
Dozens of constitutional scholars.
Well, it looks like
The fact is, we did.
the schools are going virtual Tuesday and Wednesday.
Our places for a second chance. Earlier today, I commuted the sentence of nearly 2,500 convicted nonviolent drug offenders. These individuals are serving a disproportionately long and harsh sentence compared to the sentence they would receive had they committed the crime today. After spending too long behind bars, these individuals will soon be reunited with their families and communities. With this action, I make no apology. I've issued more individual pardon and commutation than any president in U.S. history. There is more work to do. But when we allow our justice,
you pardoned, commuted the sentences of some real prize winners.
Let me close with this.
Let's see what he does.
Serving as your president in the honor of my life. Well,
So I got to look at it a little bit more. So we all know that there were vets put out of the armed services because they wouldn't take the jab. Put out with less than honorable discharges. Biden could blanket put all those to honorable discharges. Let's see if Fucknuts does that. If he does that, I might have the mustard grain of a freaking little bit of maybe kind of respect. But we'll see. And then he ends it here with the same old line he's been using for 4 years.
My term in office is ending. Continue. Your work continues. My farewell address 2 days ago, I talked how each of us must be guardians of democracy, restore the strength of our institutions of democracy. The presidency, the Congress, the courts, all have minimum requirements under the law to deal with those safeguards. I'm going to try to keep,
even when I'm gone later, I'm going to try to keep an eye on the SCOTUS and see whether they take up brown or gray
I'm forever thankful
today.
for seeing the strength.
Remember, they got redistributed. But it wouldn't surprise me. I said earlier, it wouldn't surprise me whether they
The magic of America.
kick that can down the road again for some reason.
Everyone is determined to be able to be treated with dignity. No guarantee, just a fair shot. I've always believed America can be defined in one word. I remember being on the Tibetan Plateau with Xi Jinping. I met with him for over 90 hours alone. 17,000 miles.
Oh, good God.
He looked at me and he said, "Can you define America for me?"
I will not miss this.
One word. Possibilities. We're the only nation in the world.
I definitely will not miss this.
that's come out of every crisis we've ever gone in stronger than we went in. Only one. Look at the history. We're the only nation in the world that believes when we act together, there's not a damn thing we can't do. Only in America, we believe anything is possible. Just remember who we are. We're the United States of America. Nothing is fascinating when we do it together and act together. God bless you all. Keep working together. We need you. We need you. We need you. We need you. And may God protect our troops. Thank you.
All right. Jesus Christ, that's painful. So let's kill that because it's killing too many of my damn brain cells. Let's see. Let me share. What am I doing here? I'm doing something. Swear to God, I am. Screen share. Supreme Court orders. The orders list. This is where we're waiting for the update. And it ain't updated yet. This is the order list where they redistributed brown and gray. They should update this tonight. Maybe. Listening to Four Boxes Diner and some other guys, they've talked about how they won't update these lists until later in the evenings on Fridays. So we'll see. We're going to find out. We'll find out today if they take it or kick it down the road. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We still need to be looking for it because there's some legislation coming. A lot of the bills that we see every single year, they submit every single year. Some of them they change a little wording on. Some of them they actually combine, but they submit them every year. I called them retreads because they just retread that some bitch and get it back on the road. So we still got to keep an eye on them. And some of these Republicans will sign on to a red flag bill, without a doubt. Absolutely without a doubt. Oh, hell, let me do some. Hell, I'm forgetting all kinds of shit. That's not what I want. No, that's not what I want to do. I'm being 9 kinds of damn retarded. Including the AG, yeah. Unfortunately. If she was half-ass good on guns, she'd be perfect. And that's the link, man. It's open floor. I don't know how long we're going to be hanging out. Maybe an hour or so. Waiting for the wife to get in. Zany Misfit, what is up, my brother? But yeah, it's for your safety. We'll kick your door and steal your shit and possibly shoot you in the face to keep you safe. It's going to hurt us more than it will you. I haven't been able to say that to my kids. I'm not that big of a damn liar. Not that I'm saying my folks ever lied to me. This damn sure is no fun whipping your kids. At least for any rational human being. Dude, I don't see why everybody's jumping up and down about Hearing Protection Act finally being introduced. It's been introduced a few times. And maybe I'm just kind of missing some of the nuance to it, but we'll see. On any bill that's got to pass through the Senate, you're going the bill that's named after that young girl who was killed by an immigrant, that did pass the Senate. 10 Democrats did vote for it. The Laken Riley Act. That's what it is. Get a soda and dry neck. Hell, they're talking pretty hard about us getting snow down here this coming week. That's why they canceled class for the kiddos. So I might be able to sit around and stream the inauguration fun. We might have to buzz around a little bit. I'm just still checking on, just trying to see whether anybody's talking. Did I close the wrong damn tab? Yes. Oh, I hate the way that camera sits sometimes. Hopefully that didn't mess anything up too bad. Chris for the 740. What's up, my brother? How are you? If I can go right to it. Orders of the year. Orders of the coat. Oh shit, hold on. Oh, that's a miscellaneous order. Or in miscellaneous order. Hold on, kiddos. Is that just for Control F? This is just one shit. Okay, so this isn't the whole certiorari granted. Parish petition. Though United States. Now they updated one document, but it ain't what we wanted to see. This was about the TikTok and Fire Branch, all that. So that's pretty much where they announced earlier that they're not taking up the TikTok case. Yeah, I know Bruin was relisted more than once. That's the only reason it's kind of giving me hope on stuff. The other two cases that they denied to hear, I think they should have took those. I think it would have set the groundwork for once they get the case out of Illinois, it would have been even better for us. So I don't know. I'm just a freaking weld instructor commenting on shit. Trying to see what all's coming up. What all we got to look at. Supposed to get some snow, probably be shut down for a couple days next week. Hopefully that does not screw me over on getting surgery on my hand. If it does, I'll just have to freaking cross that bridge when I get to it. Last price I saw on TikTok was 20 billion. Yeah, Vanessa, that's what part of what we're trying to keep an eye on, or I am. That's why I keep sitting over here refreshing this list. Refresh. It should be, or it might be sometime tonight. Yeah, carpal tunnel surgery. That hand don't work some days. It's getting better. I'm getting some dexterity back in it and everything. But been having some issues with it. Come here. What are you doing? Why are you acting screwy? Let me kill that and bring that back up. All right. Now I think we're cooking with gas. I'm going to change that back. I wish to God the chat filter would always come up as all messages and not top. Jesus Christ, I'm an idiot. Or my phone is. There it is. Somehow I switched that pinned message on accident. Because I'm a retarded. Yeah, Vanessa, from some of the guys that I've been listening to, Four Boxes, Kurt, some others, say that a lot of times they'll put out the list early on a Friday. Sometimes they're going to wait till Monday, so we'll see. Hopefully they do put it out tonight. Did I hear that we had a new amendment? Oh God, when Biden was talking in his speech, the equal, whatever the hell it was, I was trying to pay attention to this freaking order list, and I caught that comment, but I didn't drill down on it. Apparently he thinks he can amend the Constitution whenever he wants. Which is awful funny. Let's see, what gets me is that this miscellaneous list they put out, they list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cases for certiorari. So certiorari granted. And that might be a sign that he tweeted it too. Oh God. So this might be a sign with this miscellaneous list that they're going to end up rescheduling Snope and Brown and Gray. But I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing at this because shit, what else can I do? I know the day of the inauguration, I got to make sure I got a bunch of streams looked up. Of course, these dum-dums, when 2018, they would live stream all of their little riots, and they quit doing it after 2020. So we'll see. What is fucking Christ? checking what these goobers are saying. Did any of you guys watch the hearing for Kristi Noem today? I saw just little bits and pieces of it. Secretary Blinken, Governor. Yeah, I just caught bits and pieces of it. While I was at the shop. I wonder. Let's see if anybody broke out some clips from it. All the normal sources, Forbes, and others like that. I did catch a little bit of the Georgia Senate today. There's a senator up there. She's very young, jumping up and down about gun control. And I still got to look into why this Georgia, I think he's a senator, wasn't allowed to come in the building and ended up getting arrested the other day. Matter of fact, let me see where I can find that because I haven't looked at that. Let me see if I can find this. I thought. I hate it sometimes. Let's see if I can find it this way. I know I have to dig into why. Why Colton hurt someone's feels, so he's banned from the chamber. Oh, that's yeah. Oh, goody. Sorry about your feels. Let's see. I just caught very brief little chunk of it, I think last night. Now, isn't that another senator blocking him right here? Yeah. So he hurt someone's feels.
Officers, this man doesn't be arrested. I have a constitutional obligation to be in this room under 1611-34.1. This man should be arrested for breaking the law. We all upheld our hand and sworn oath to the Constitution. No. This is a joint session of the General Assembly. Your House rules do not apply. I'm going into the chamber. Come on in. What a silly mess. What a high school silly mess. What is your name, sir? Did you now involve yourself? I'm trying to get these other sentences, sir. Are you preventing me from entering the chamber?
This is hysterical.
Trooper agrees. The doorkeepers are stopping, which means you have broken 1611-34.1.
Dude, I'm sorry, but if your hands are all over me like that, that's a physical assault and you're fixing to eat your teeth.
Trooper, you don't have to be in the way.
I have to look a little bit more into this clown show. It's kind of interesting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He does not come past this door.
See, that's an assault.
It has gone too far. I have an obligation to be in that room. I represent 200,000 people in Northwest Georgia who duly elected me to be here today. And you're hindering that. Unconstitutional. You have no respect for the Constitution. Complete disrespect to the Constitution. Major Langford, I have a constitutional obligation to be there.
But we're state troopers and we're gonna follow our orders.
The doorkeeper has no authority. As a senator of a joint session, I have more authority than the storekeeper of the House. Sir, I've not caused a disturbance.
How do you say he's causing a disturbance?
Gentlemen, I'm allowed in. You're not allowed in. Let me in. You're not allowed in the House chamber.
That's some of the most ridiculous shit I think I've ever seen. We gotta look. Fluffy, what's up, my brother?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Governor Noem, welcome. Congratulations on your nomination. I'm delighted to see you here. I do notice the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee is over your shoulder there. I'd have to question your judgment about who your friends are based on that.
George's son. Let me kind of.
The great chairman from the state of Missouri. It's fantastic to have you here. You know, the Department of Homeland Security is not particularly old, but you already have what I hope will soon be the distinction of succeeding the worst secretary in the history of the Department of Homeland Security. Alejandro Mayorkas has been an absolute disgrace to that department and frankly to this country. And I'm delighted to see you willing to step up and serve. Let me just ask you something. I repeatedly asked your predecessor when he sat where you're sitting whether the southern border was secure. And he repeatedly told me under oath, it is secure, Senator. The Biden administration policies that, of course, gave us this devastating open border.
Because I think he did.
Ask you.
Here it is.
Now on News Edge, the latest on a dust up under the Gold Dome. New questions are emerging tonight about a state lawmaker's arrest after he tried to get into the governor's State of State address. State Senator Colton Moore is charged with willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. News Edge reporter Rob D'Arienzo is at the live desk tonight with more. And Rob, some say this arrest may have violated the state's constitution.
Yeah, Christine.
Yeah.
Even the chairwoman of the Georgia Democratic Party has come to the far-right state senator's defense. It was a hot mess outside of Georgia's House chambers this morning. State Senator Colton Moore taken to the ground, then to the Fulton County Jail. Republicans are split on who was in the wrong. I spoke with a lawyer who walked him out today.
They took my freedom and liberty away as I was fighting for your liberty and freedom.
State Senator Colton Moore gave this update from a hospital bed at Emory Midtown, hours after state troopers arrested him outside the House chambers Thursday.
I did take a bit of a beating on my hand. It's a bit swollen and purple. We're waiting to get some x-rays to check it out.
He was trying to get into Governor Brian Kemp's State of the State address, but last year the House banned him from their chamber. They were angry. He called former Speaker David Ralston, who had just died, one of the most corrupt leaders in state history. Thursday, GOP leaders stood by not letting him in.
The Speaker of the House has the responsibility of maintaining order.
That is a complete damn shit show.
On the other hand, Republican Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones.
What's his name? Something Cotton from Georgia.
Jones chalked it down to, quote, personal grievances and egos.
Apparently he was banned from the House chamber. He's a senator, but he was banned from the House chamber.
This is a complete and total constitutional debacle.
Anyway, I think Ag said something about it. He was banned from the House chamber. Yeah. Senator Colton Moore. Well, no, that was him giving an update. Pretty sure the senator, or is it Senator Colton? Yeah, Colton Moore said he scuffled with officers. Jesus Christ, those people are, oh man. It's some of the wildest, dumbest shit I've seen in a while. But apparently he hurt someone's feelings because he called the former Speaker of the House that just died corrupt, which he more than likely was. He's a fucking politician. So
Across the political spectrum, the far-right lawmaker has gotten support from some surprising voices, like civil rights attorney Gerald Griggs.
It appears as though
absolute pansies fluff.
Because the Constitution is quite clear on whether or not somebody can be arrested during session.
Georgia's Constitution, paragraph 9, reads, quote, members of both houses shall be free from arrest during sessions of the General Assembly and in going thereto or returning therefrom, except for treason, felony, or breach of the peace. Fox 5 spoke one-on-one with the lawyer who walked the state senator out of the jail Thursday afternoon.
In the United States, you're not supposed to be treated that way. The Constitution is there for a reason. The Speaker of the House is beholden to the state Constitution and also the federal Constitution.
And Christine, one person we haven't heard from today at all about this incident was the person behind those doors giving the speech Moore was trying to watch, Governor Brian Kemp. Multiple requests to his press secretary went unanswered, and we do know the senator has been discharged from the hospital and plans to be back under the Gold Dome tomorrow. Back to you.
Yeah, it would be interesting to hear the governor's stance on this.
We heard from Matt. What's up, brother? We'll to be far right these days, all you have to do is believe in constitutional rights. That makes you a far right. You're an extremist. But yeah, we heard that from the FBI.
First of all, thank you, Governor, for being here, for testifying before this committee, and for your service, not just to your state, but to America. 9 years ago today, we met in probably the coldest day I've ever been in my life in Iowa. Yes. As you and I were making phone calls and whipping up votes for Republicans in Iowa.
I want
my
to
wife,
see.
Bridget, is here. got a chance to
I have
meet
to
you.
look a little bit more
You
into
left
that too.
Iowa saying that person's really going to go far.
Let's stop that. Give me a sec. I'll be right back. We live in some crazy times. Try to buzz through. Oh, hold on. I really goddamn take notes. Sam, how you doing today, brother? Hope everything's going well. Yeah, everything's good, brother. We're hanging out and doing our thing. Huh. Maybe I didn't put it there. Playlists. Let's see. Same old shit, different day. Yeah, I feel that. See if I can find this fucking numbnut. What did I say it was like? Is this her? Yeah, this is her. So this was today in the Georgia Senate. As far as I know, she was the only one that got up there like this, but she is one of the new Democrats that was pushed by. I'm kind of half-assed familiar with her, just on the peripheral, because I've heard people from Mom's Demand and others talking about. Let's see. She should be taking the mic now.
Last year, of an unimaginable tragedy at Appalachia High School. A tragedy
Let me know if the audio is good,
claimed
guys.
the lives of 2 students, 2 teachers, and injured 9 people. Democrats in this chamber pleaded with Governor Kemp to call a special session to address the scourge of school violence.
The scourge.
We called on him to act boldly and urgently to prioritize the safety of our children and to give Georgia families the assurance that their government would not sit idly by as school shootings turn classrooms into battlegrounds. The response: silence. a refusal to convene with lawmakers to tackle the deadliest crisis our children face. And now this year, the governor stands before us with a
All right,
threat
good deal, Sam.
to hold a special session, not to protect our kids, not to confront the epidemic of school violence, but to tackle tort reform. Lawsuits, colleagues. Lawsuits are what our governor deems worthy enough to bring us back to this chamber, not the lives of innocent children and their teachers. Let me be crystal clear. Guns are the leading cause of death for children and teens in this country.
No, it's not.
The Appalachia shooting didn't just take lives, it left a community shattered, a school forever changed, and parents fearing if their children would ever return home that day. Yet, in the governor's world, curbing jury awards and shielding corporations and insurance companies from lawsuits is a higher priority than shielding our children from gunfire. This is a moral failing. And while some argue we need even more guns in schools, proposing we arm teachers, let's not forget the glaring hypocrisy here. In this very building, where safety is paramount, the answer has never been to arm the secretaries and staff. No,
Should be.
we ensure our own protection by banning guns in the Capitol. Legislators value safety here, but when it comes to our children, they offer them metal detectors and a prayer. Governor Kemp says fairness. Is there a system where parents send their children to school with clear backpacks, where kids practice lockdown instead of algebra? Where is the fairness in this? Where communities bury their future because we refuse to pass common sense gun safety laws? We begged for action to save lives, and we were told it wasn't the right time. And yet, when it comes to protecting big businesses from lawsuits, suddenly urgency is crucial. Our children deserve more than thoughts and prayers. They deserve action. They deserve leaders who will treat school shootings like the crisis they are, not a side note in a campaign speech. And Governor Kemp, you claim to be leading Georgia into the future, but your priorities tell a different story. Stop protecting profits over people. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the well.
Recognize the senator from the 51st.
And I don't think there's anything else that happened there, and I just tripped over that. Now, from what I saw and a couple of other things, because I'm an absolute sadist and tend to pay attention to this stuff, the Democrats are going to make a hard push for the coming years to completely take over Virginia. They want Florida, they want Georgia, and they want Alabama. They want to spend money like it's just water right here in the South. That is their plan. Is it going to work? With the way they cheat, who the hell knows? I mean, if they ran the same game in Fulton County, they could damn sure swing some people. Yeah, she must have missed the arm. She walked in, yeah. It's because she's cool like that. Now I'm trying to figure this thing out. All right. to, no doubt. Here's one thing about it: as much as they get their ass handed to them, they're never going to quit. I mean, never going to quit. Hell, I actually remembered my password on the first go on that one. What do you know? I got it. Let's see. It's amazing, man. We can expect the Democrats to throw a massive amount of money at races, starting now, actually, because it'll be 2 years. Then they'll hit, the House races, I believe. There might be some Senate races coming up. I can't remember. And then, of course, back to the presidency in another 2 years or another 4 years. And I just have no idea how crazy it's fixing to get. Because I absolutely do not expect everything to be same old business for the next 4 years until they can run through another presidential election. I don't expect it to stay business as usual. Don't expect it to all these swamp critters to just sit back and take it. Yeah. Get caught in the crossfire. Let's see, there was. What in the world? Looking for this other video again, as usual. I got stuff squirreled away in a couple of different folders and files, and can't freaking. Every time I go to start on something else crazy happens, and I'm off on another rabbit trail. Still no updates from the Supremes. Where is... Oh yeah, there's I haven't watched it yet. Let me throw a video out. Maybe you guys can catch up if you haven't seen it already. Apparently the zero tolerance rule with the ATF, they got a little pee-pee slap on that one. So hell, I'll throw one of Braden's videos out there. So it looks like the zero tolerance horse shit is out. So they shouldn't be able to shut down mom and pop businesses anymore for a simple paperwork issue. There's tons of stuff going on. There's cases flying everywhere. Seems like anyway. And let's see something. What is this? And I was trying to look and see whether they had any more, at least half-ass. Concerning the only thing that saved us from major gun control was, yeah, dude, the governor pulled you out of the fire, at least for now. But they're going to come right back with the bills. I mean, we know how they roll. So Gary Peters. I don't know that anybody actually went after Nome today too bad. But I'll tell you what, let's listen to Paul's opening statement, since I didn't get to see that. Now the ATF, the EPA director confirmation hearing, I got to pick back through that because, as usual, it's a freaking shit
The
show from
hearing
Democrats on
consider the nomination.
climate change or climate.
The Department of Homeland
Climate
Security
change, and it's a
and
consensus.
rigorous scrutiny to ensure that they are executed within the bounds of the Constitution and with respect to the freedoms of the American people. Nearly 2 years ago, when I became the ranking member of this committee, my team sought to understand the extent of this bureaucratic labyrinth. We asked DHS for a comprehensive list of collaborative entities it participates in, task forces, advisory boards, coalitions, commissions, and the like. The response was astonishingly opaque. They stated there is not a single comprehensive list to address all the
Buffy, man,
collaborative
if you looked at,
relationships that the department and its components engage.
If you looked at the map of Virginia for all the sanctuary counties, damn near that entire map is a sanctuary county, and not for illegals, for the Second Amendment. It killed me the night Biden won. They called Virginia for Biden with less than 1% of the vote in. I think it was one of the first states called. It was called early that night. Well, hold on. 4 boxes just posted. Let me check that list again. No, all I see is a miscellaneous list. So what is 4 boxes talking about? Ah, shit. What did I do with? Hold on. Let me open it up on my computer. Let's see what 4 boxes is saying here, because I don't see the order list out. Come on, come on, come on. Hurry, computer. Oh, shit. Let me finish that message tonight straight. Let me do it this way. Let's go here. Or hell, we can just go to history because I had it pulled up. We're just gonna watch his intro to see what he's talking about.
That we're confronting in the Second Amendment space. Major breaking news out of the United States Supreme Court in a case called EMD Sales versus Carrera. Guess what? A major decision that's going to have real implications, real impact in a favorable way on issues that we're confronting in the Second Amendment space, specifically issues speaking to red flag laws, civil commitment processes, civil protection orders, and the like. You're not going to want to miss the dots that just got connected by the 4 Boxes Diner when we come back.
All right. So that's about a whole other end of it. Hold on. Where was that? So I was hoping he'd pop on there and be like, "Hey, yeah," and nope. So he's talking about another case. Now I got to listen to the whole video, and it might be exceptionally good. He seems happy about it. So I tell you what, let me throw that down in the chat while I look for this other. Yeah, unfortunately, I think Bondi is going to be an issue. She is doesn't seem strong on Second Amendment rights. Seems like she's pretty strong on a lot of other shit, but she doesn't seem strong on Second Amendment at all. And we don't need another AG that will just prosecute anybody for any damn thing when it comes to a gun. I mean, we need some AGs that are going to start rolling back the power, not expanding it. So we'll see where that lands, I guess. Let's get back to Paul. Let's watch his opening statement with Noam.
In other words, we do so much stuff and we're so big, we can't describe it for you. But if we can't describe what we have, we got language. The DHS had really no idea. Think about it. An agency commanding over $110 billion annually can't account for its own activities. This is not just bureaucratic incompetence. It's emblematic of a deeper issue, an agency unsure of its own boundaries and commitments. How can an agency fulfill its mission or earn the American people's trust if it doesn't even know the extent of its own operations? But the problems don't stop there. Instead of focusing on critical threats like securing the southwest border, DHS has shifted its gaze inward, targeting law-abiding Americans. DHS under the Biden administration has often used its vast powers to target Americans exercising their constitutional rights. It's become an agency more focused on policing speech, monitoring social media, and labeling political dissent as domestic terrorism than addressing genuine security threats. While cartels traffic people and fentanyl across an unguarded border, DHS has spent its time and resources creating partisan disinformation boards, spying on Americans through invasive surveillance technologies. The mission drift is dangerous. Every dollar spent monitoring law-abiding citizens is a dollar not spent securing the homeland. Every moment spent targeting political opponents is a moment not addressing real threats like border security, cyber attacks, or the rising influence of adversarial nation states. The priorities of DHS have been deeply distorted, and the American people are paying the price. And what about DHS's response to COVID-19, arguably one of the greatest threats to Homeland Security? The answer is clear: nothing. They knew nothing of the origins, they didn't study the issue, and they had no information about gain-of-function research. We've seen firsthand how unchecked government overreach leads to waste, fraud, and abuse. We cannot let DHS become yet another agency that operates behind a veil of secrecy. The American people deserve transparency, accountability, and leadership that puts national security and liberty hand in hand, not at odds with each other. Today, we gather to consider the nomination of Governor Kristi Noem to serve as the Secretary of Department of Homeland Security. I hope this hearing will set the tone for this committee's work in the new Congress to restore transparency and accountability to an executive branch that has grown unchecked. Governor Noem, if confirmed, you will lead an agency that has lost its way. Your record as governor of South Dakota and a former member of Congress demonstrates your willingness to make difficult decisions in the face of significant political pressure and to put the interest of the American people first. You have the opportunity today to address how your background and vision will translate to leading one of the most critical and scrutinized departments in the federal government. This is the first of many consequential moments for this committee as we renew our commitment to the constitutional oversight role that Congress must assert. I have no doubt that the nominee will consider in the coming weeks and months that you will be up for the challenge. Governor Noem, thank you for your willingness to serve, and I yield to the ranking member for his opening remarks.
I thought freaking, hey, Tactical Muffin Top, my brother, what's up? Hey, the chat's open, man. Floor's open. There's a link at the top. I shouldn't be on too much longer.
Thanks for being here, and thanks for our time in my office. Governor, I'm a former CIA officer, joined right after 9/11 and served 3 tours in Iraq alongside the military. I'm actually a first CIA officer in the Senate. To me, the most important thing, again, as a Democrat from a state that Trump won, right, on the same ballot, we both won. I understand we're going to have different policy opinions. I certainly understand that the president or incoming president has the right to nominate whoever he wants. Those are not the issues for me that I'm going to spend my time on. The ones that I care about the most relate to the mission of the organization when it was founded, protecting the homeland. And I think, to me, it's one thing when there's campaign rhetoric or...
Am I like the only one? I know I can't be. When they came out with the Department of Homeland Security, who just fucking cringed. I can't be the only one.
Politicization of things. Everyone does that on both sides of the aisle in this committee and in our line of work. But when it comes to actually protecting the country, you do have to be clear and honest about facts and not conflate things. So it's just important to me that I know, particularly since you do have one of the intelligence agencies within the Department of Homeland Security, that you're going to call a spade, right? The most recent acts of domestic terrorism in New Orleans, horrible incident, in Nevada, had nothing to do with migrants, correct?
Correct.
They were homegrown American citizens. One of them was actually in a very elite military unit. I mean, it's horrible. It's one of the hardest things to catch, the sort of lone wolf, radicalized American
That's something,
citizen.
man.
But I want to protect ourselves. Our most recent examples of
I haven't looked
domestic
at it in the
terrorism
I don't know.
were not
So
what we've spent the majority talking about today,
Dude, it's
crime
doing tough.
from a migrant. And I don't dispute there is crime, but I just want to know, and I want to hear from you as an intelligence officer, that you're going to speak about real threats and not blow something up, politicize something, make something more exciting, because that's maybe what the president wants to hear. But your mission to protect and defend the Constitution means calling honestly what the threats are to the country. Can you just give me a yes or no, please?
Yes, Senator, I will be as transparent and factual every day with you and the American people as possible based on the information that I have. I don't know if the investigations are closed in New Orleans and in Nevada, but what we know so far and needs to be relayed to the American people needs to be the truth and facts.
Yeah, I'd ask that. We've talked a lot about border security. As a CIA officer, I think one of the only people on this committee who's actually worked on protecting the homeland. I'm a Middle East terrorism and militia expert by training, so I believe deeply in it. And every country of the world gets to decide who comes inside its borders. That's not a radical concept. But I think I've been open with this committee that it is also on us to fix the deeply broken legal immigration system. Democrats and Republicans are to blame that we can't fully control the border unless you give people that we need for our companies, for our economy, a legal vetted way to come here. So do you believe in legal vetted immigration and that we need more of it in the United States?
I do believe we need to follow our legal immigration laws and that it needs to be vetted. We need more resources, I believe, in some of the elements of this to ensure
Do you believe that our economy depends and needs some level, just like your family came from Norway and on economic, drive and wanted a better life?
Immigration's always been a part of our history and will be a part of our future. We just need to make sure that we're adhering to our nation's laws, which this body has the ability to.
I'm with you.
Continue to change and to put in place.
Again, going back to the fact that you will pledge an oath to the Constitution, not to President Trump, just like every other nominee. President Trump said in November that he is willing to use law enforcement, National Guard, or even active duty military to go after, quote, the threat from within the United States. I don't know exactly what he was talking about. But we have recent examples from your predecessors at DHS where federal law enforcement were sent into a state, in this case, Oregon, without coordination with the governor. Those federal law enforcement officers at the time were putting down threats to federal buildings, and they were legitimate threats. I don't dispute there was destruction of property going on during a bunch of protests and riots. So I don't dispute that, but they weren't wearing insignia. We talked about this. They weren't wearing any markings. So people were arrested by folks in fatigues with no names, no idea who they were, like right out of a bad Hollywood movie. Okay. If the president asks you to send in federal law enforcement to a state without coordination of that governor, would you support that action?
Oh, goody.
Senator,
congrats on that one.
My job, if nominated and sworn in as Secretary of Homeland Security, is to uphold the Constitution and to uphold the rules of this country. Yes, that will be the oath and the pledge that I will be making. And my goal also is to work with you to ensure that we have situations that are always appropriate, that we are well defined.
I just need to know, you're a former governor. You can imagine that if Joe Biden sent in 700 federal law enforcement under Secretary Mayorkas without coordinating with you, I think we can agree you'd be a little upset. So I just ask that you give the same respect for coordination, and that we are very sensitive. People are worried about politicizing of law enforcement and the uniformed military. That's a bad thing. I hope we can agree. Lastly, I will just say, Look forward to looking at the northern border, the Gordie Howe Bridge. Your help staffing that. We know you aren't right now across many administrations. We haven't met our staffing goals at DHS, and that's a problem. So we really want to make sure that opens on time. But I also want your assurances. You received FEMA and you were given millions of dollars to help with that. I understand you don't like Gavin Newsom, this committee who does have oversight over FEMA, right? Yep. That you will open the books in a bipartisan way to ensure whether it's North Carolina or California or anywhere in between, that the American people can know that you are not playing politics with disaster assistance.
Yes, Senator, I'll work with you and this committee to make sure I'm following the federal law and ensuring that you have information and transparency from us and from DHS and FEMA.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yield back.
These motherfuckers. So they're worried about FEMA playing fair now. They tried to hide the fact that FEMA was basically had a rule that, hey, if someone's got a Trump sign in their yard, no, they don't get help. Yeah, Kurt, we were kind of having trouble figuring that out. I mean, I thought you were ready to, hang out with her and shoot the breeze. Just looking through some other stuff real fast. Old Chucky Schumer. But I don't think they're all jumping up and down about the tax cuts and stuff. The Democrats are just losing their minds, but yeah, there was a lot of that went on, Kurt. These assholes, I've skimmed through some other stuff today. And of course, I'm working, I'm just skimming through stuff. And they were arguing over a bill in the House about, deporting illegals for, theft crimes and stuff. And the Democrats will come up with the most twisted fucking logic to defend not shipping these guys out of the country. I mean, well, we got enough criminals of our own. We're kind of full up on them. We don't need to import more, but we're damn sure doing it. And it gets even worse than that with some of the people we're letting in. It keeps getting crazier and crazier. How many of you guys are actually going to be watching the Super Bowl? Oh, good God. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You guys have to have your guns have to be approved to be different colors. Yeah, we hadn't talked about that one yet, but that's the most insane bill. You can have this shade of green, but you can't have that shade of green. Your brown has to meet this poopy brown standard, because if it's a little too beige, your gun's illegal. Oh my God. I mean, they realize. No, they don't realize. They fucking don't. How retarded that is. They just. And see, a lot of those bills, these senators and Congress people aren't writing these bills. Brady's writing them. Giffords is writing them. A couple other places, and they just basically spam these senators with them. If you support this bill, you'll get this. If you support this bill, you'll get that. Well, maybe you need to submit this bill this year. It's ridiculous. You know, hold on. Let's go tangentize for a little bit. All right. So if you wanted to fix some of the things in this country, it would be very easy. Every bill put through has to be able to be read by the lowest common denominator in the United States in, let's say, a day. We'll give them 8 hours. For the lowest common denominator, your average person could probably read it in an hour or so. But that restrains every bill. Or we put a page limit on. And make sure you put a limit on the fucking type too, so they can't just shrink the type down to nothing and then fill the page up with mouse type. When you represent an area, you live in that area. Next thing, when you represent that area, you get paid the median salary in that area. So if you want a pay raise, you get your fucking people a pay raise. That goes for senators and it goes for Congress people. You live where you represent. And you only go to Washington 3 months out of the year. You can break those months up. You could have them all at once. But for the rest of the time, you are in an office in the area that you represent, and you are accessible to the people you represent 24/7. Or no, well, we'll give them business hours, banker's hours. But you're in there, you're in that office 5 days a week, 6 days a week, representing your people. If you've got stocks and you've got bonds and all this other shit, it goes into a trust you can't touch the entire time you serve in office. In other words, it's on autopilot. If we find you opening up another set of accounts and investments while you're in office, you go to jail. If you're saying you are serving the country or you're a public servant, then you serve. You don't get to sit in Washington, D.C. the majority of the time, spend taxpayer money flying back and forth every weekend or wherever, how fast you're flying back and forth, and you don't get to profit off of the laws and everything that you pass. Will that mean that some senators and Congress people make more than others? Yes. But guess what? Life's a bitch. Nice strike. What's up?
So I'm considering running for office and becoming a senator so I could get those investment dollars.
Yeah, no kidding. It must be nice to push a bill that's going to force everything to go electric and then go invest in the electric shit before you pass it.
Yeah.
Oh wow, look at all these electrics.
Yeah, no.
It's ridiculous, man.
Come the 20th or 21st. I don't think that's going to fly.
Dude, we will see. We will see what Trump does. He's gonna have to get in there and make me a believer.
I'd like to stay optimistic, okay? So don't take my optimism away until things have gone to shit, okay?
You and your autism and optimism can hang out together. I'm gonna be the pessimist. I am the yin to your yang. I am the pessimist.
You can be the pessimist, okay? But that also means you're a retard.
Did you just now figure that out?
Oh no, I've known that. I've known that for years.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Plus, your wife has already said it on air, so you know.
Yeah. I mean, I've got references, baby.
So, what do you think of that capture card?
Dude, I'm figuring it out. I gotta figure out more with OBS so I can change and dial it in.
And what I recommend is you open up OBS and show me what you're doing in OBS in like
Yeah.
you know in an off-air situation when you're not trying to live stream at the same time. So
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
help you figure it out, because last time we were trying to do it 10,000 things at once. Let's try just one thing at a time.
Yeah, yeah. And last time it was dragging like an SOB too, trying
Well,
to do
well,
that. So
you don't have the best of laptops, so it's not going to be
yeah, I know.
balls to the walls.
I've got a little tiny straw apparently I'm working through, and I'm trying to fit a fire hose of information through it.
I mean,
So
are you connected via Wi-Fi on that laptop?
yeah,
Okay, is your router in the same room?
no. I realize that doesn't help my case, but unless the cord was screwed up, but I don't think it was. I ran a cord through the hallway and down to my router and hardwired this bitch, and my speed didn't change at all.
Actually, it did, but you just didn't notice it. Trust me, I know these things.
I know. I'm just a Padawan here. I believe you.
You may not have noticed the change, but it was faster.
Let's hold on.
And I say this because Wi-Fi itself isn't very fast.
I wonder if yeah. It is really spooky when you think about something. You get the first couple letters and it pops right up with it sometimes.
Yeah, well, that's how it goes.
So this is clocking.
That's the algorithm.
Yeah. This says I got an upload speed. This is you tell me on the number is about 10 point something, 11 point something. Oh, hold on, here we go. So megabytes download speed 43.5, upload speed 9.55.
And it's saying Mbps, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's not a lot, but that's
about normal.
It's about normal for residential.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got 1,000 up and down, but that's because I got fiber optic.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, they've been working on getting fiber optic in the ground.
You're lucky to have any connectivity out there in the sticks.
I am right on the edge of where the cable company would come to and put service in your house. Now they've been expanding, which some of the times when they go expanding, it takes that service and puts it right in the fucking grave. You just stay right there a little while. We'll be back.
Yeah. So what are you on DSL?
No. It's cable.
It's cable. All right.
Yeah, it's cable.
I got a few ideas to help you lock it down, but we're gonna have to work some magic.
Yeah, and we'll get on. We'll hook it up and one night when both of us, because hell, I'd do it tonight, but like I said, I got to go to the in-laws tonight and go hang out.
Well,
so the cool thing is,
I
actually like my in-laws.
Oh wow! But
my in-laws are pretty
hold on.
cool.
Do they like you though? That's the issue.
Yes.
Well, yeah, they kind of have to because you put up with your wife.
It took a little while, but yeah, they figured it out.
So,
hey, give me just a sec. I'll be right back.
Right.
Tap dance or something.
Yeah, I see you out there, Sam. And that sucks, Kurt. No fiber there. Yeah. $560 megabits down and only 25 up to a cable company. That's not bad. that is not bad considering what some areas get. You know, I'm usually 1,000 up and down. Okay, you know, I've got as much up and down because it's fiber, but you know, even that with the cable company isn't that bad. So, and for those that are listening, here's some tech info. When it says when the number on your speed test says Mbps, that's megabits per second, not megabytes. Megabytes a second is MB/S when you do speed tests. So be aware of that. Megabits don't always equal megabytes. I mean, there's one megabyte is about 8 megabits. Okay, to run the numbers, you got a 1:8 ratio on them. Yeah, I mean, if you're the only one using it, Kurt, and you don't have any problems, you know, with what you got, don't mess with it. But if you need more up and down, then yeah, you need more speed.
I suspect.
I was just having a conversation with the chat on internet connectivity speed. Because when you do a speed test, Coop, when it says it usually tells you the how fast your upload and download is.
Yeah.
In megabits per second, Mbps.
Yeah.
Which is not 1-to-1 for megabytes. Technically, a megabit it's 8 megabits to a single megabyte.
Okay.
So you got an 8-to-1 ratio.
Yeah, and probably with the lines they got out here, it ain't going to get much better until they put fiber optic.
Right, right. And Kurt was telling me that he's got 560 down and 25 up, which is respectable. You know, it's not the best. It's not the best that the cable companies can provide, but it's not the worst either.
Yeah.
Because I had Time Warner / Charter / what do they call themselves now? Spectrum. Yeah. I had them once upon a time, and you know, back in the day, I had 10 up and 10 down megabits per second from them. It wasn't great.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Now I'm thinking because that router or not the router, but the modem we got, it's the original one we got when we set the cable up, so it's old as hell. So this next month, I might actually get a new modem and see whether that'll bump it up a little bit.
Yeah, who are you going through?
This is a smaller company called Beam Internet.
Okay, all right.
They're not a huge. I don't think they're a huge, you know, like franchise out company. I think they're just local.
Lawfully Armed. I had Spectrum before they were Spectrum when they were Time Warner. You know, because basically what it was, Spectrum is basically it was Time Warner, Cox, and what is it, Charter all merged.
Yeah.
So, but I had it once upon a time. But yeah, I mean, if you could call them and see if you bought a new modem, if you could use it with them, if that would help your speeds, they could probably tell you yes or no. I would do the investigation, because if they said your speed isn't going to get any better, or you're not going to see any
upside to it,
upside to updating the modem to a newer one, then you know it may be an issue where you'd be throwing good money after bad.
Yeah. I'll give them a call sometime.
And I only say this like if you don't own that modem, if you're paying to rent it, that's really the only reason you would go and buy your own modem.
You know, the kicker is, I think I can't remember. Hell, it's been almost 8 years ago. I can't damn remember.
Yeah. And that's the only reason why I would recommend, if anyone's on cable internet, like if you're renting the modem from the cable company and you don't own the modem, then it's an issue where I would recommend going and buying a modem from the store and putting it on your account and giving them the old one back.
Yeah.
Because that way you're cutting out somewhere between $5 and $20 from your bill a month.
I have to look at the bill and see whether we got that one through them or whether,
But-
or whether we're paying for it. I
But
think
it-
this might have been the deal that she gave us the modem, hooked everything up, and it never got charged to the bill.
But again, I'm just saying this, tech side.
Yeah.
But that's how it is. I mean, if you're on DSL, that's a whole nother bag of cats. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can own your own modem and be on DSL, but it all depends on whether whether AT&T or Frontier lets you, or if you're still in the area which Verizon is still doing DSL.
I remember years and years ago, we were running off DSL, but that was probably 25 at the time, because that's all we could get at the time where we were at.
I mean,
I
lived out in the sticks in Kentucky when I was in high school, so I was on 56K for a long while, and then 2003 came around and I got DSL, and I tell you what,
shitting in high cotton.
Best time ever.
What was it? The old freaking, I still remember my mom and dad downloading a file over the internet. We were on Fort Gordon.
It would take 8 hours.
Oh, at least. Oh God, it was horrible.
Yeah.
And all it was basically something we download right now in 2 seconds and it's done.
Yeah.
And the whole dot matrix printer running the whole time this thing's downloading and printing.
A Fluffy Bunny, that girl's a keeper right there. She has DSL, that's a keeper. But no, Kurt's asking how fast is Starlink stuff. And Starlink, depending on the plan you're on, it's anywhere between 100 and 1,000. Down. Up, it's all over the place on the upload. But that's how satellite internet is. So, I mean, I hate to get technical on you guys, but we were talking about it, and it's out on the chat and the comments, and I figure might as well address it while we're here.
We talking techie shit, man. I mean, hell, technically we're talking whatever the hell we want to talk. Free speech. I flipped to the wrong tab, and all I could see is Cindy Blumenthal's face, and I just about felt it, about to throw up.
A chill?
A little bit of pukey. A little nauseous.
Yeah.
All right, let's check the orders list again. Let's refresh.
What orders?
From the Supremes today to see whether they take Snope and Gray, and that they ain't updated yet. What scares me is, so they put out a miscellaneous. Hold on, I'll do this. That way everybody can kind of see what the hell I'm talking about. Orders 20. Okay, here it is. All right, so once, of course, the cases go to conference, they put out a list saying they're either going to take them, whether they're going to kick them down the road, whether they deny cert. This is where you find that. So the only one they put out today so far is this miscellaneous. And these are the cases. They denied the cases for TikTok, and then they granted 5 cases. So when they grant those 5 cases, I think they're going to kick the can down the road again with Brown and Gray. So it's going to be a couple more days, and they might kick it down the road again. Why they're kicking it down the road, I have no idea. Because that's the update from today. So I don't think, and I could be wrong, they could surprise the shit out of me. I don't think we're going to see them taking Brown and Gray today, because it's share this tab instead.
Remember, there's also a circuit split going on too.
Yeah, well, hell, there's a couple of them, and another one just developed.
Yeah. So unfortunately, they're gonna have to get through that circuit split stuff first.
Let's look at
I mean, because if there's a circuit split, the Supreme Court has to rule on it. They can decline all they want on everything else, but when it's a circuit split, they have to. And if they don't,
I don't know why they haven't snatched up. Yeah, I don't know why they haven't just went ahead and snatched up a couple of these cases. So Snoop v. Brown, formerly Bianchi v. Frost. We streamed the oral arguments for that one.
Maybe they're waiting for the for the inauguration.
Dude,
I hate to say stuff like that. I hate to say stuff like that, but in a certain way, it makes sense. And you know I'm right.
I know you're right, and it just baffles me. Because if I was the Supremes with these cases, that we know the Democrats in these cities are basically just telling us to fuck off. We're not following your precedent. I would be snatching these cases up like a fucking Ethiopian and a damn buffet, just fucking slamming them down in my face. But they
all right,
just denying, freaking kicking a can down the road.
Hey, Tactical Muffin Top.
Muffin Top. Well, yeah, you were in here earlier. Shit. But yeah, it's anyway.
That's why, man. It sucks that they wait for that kind of thing, but they do to see how the political climate is before they go and rule on something.
Yeah, but you see, these dickheads aren't supposed to be political in the first place.
No, they're not. But you've seen the left-leaning Supreme Court justices. They're not supposed to be. They're not supposed to be political. But have you heard them open their mouths?
I have, unfortunately.
And every time they open their mouths, they are political, whether they're trying to be or not.
Oh, they're political from the time they wake up in the morning till the time they go to sleep at night.
So I hate to tell you this, but that's why we don't need any more liberal Supreme Court justices.
We need people that will just, whether or not you like it, obey the Constitution.
I hate to say this, but we don't need any more conservative ones either.
Yeah,
we need real libertarians, not oh hey, we're going to vote for a gay guy to run as a libertarian.
Yeah.
No, we need an actual libertarian. Maybe someone more like Rand Paul elected to the Supreme Court. One that actually believes in the Constitution and the definitions of the words that are written in the Constitution.
Yeah, the definitions at the time they were written.
Just FYI.
That's the maddening thing. And I've said it before on streams. It's the maddening thing to me is our Constitution, and people say, oh, you can do this and oh, you can do that. No, our Constitution has zero teeth. Zero. When someone upholds a law, when they try to pass a law that's against the Constitution, whether of the state or whether it's of the feds, they should immediately be removed from office.
Well, I'm just lucky that the Supreme Court, that the Democrats aren't taking President Jackson's stance on Supreme Court decisions.
Explain that one.
Okay, well, you heard about that about President Jackson. Okay, this is a long time ago, so remind it. The Supreme Court ruled against President Jackson going and taking land away from the Native Americans.
Yeah.
President Jackson said, well, that's too bad, Supreme Court. You don't have an army. And did it anyways.
I could so see the damn government doing that.
And he did that back in the day. But the thing is, the Democrats haven't tried that yet. And because they haven't, on Supreme Court decisions, they abide by the Supreme Court decisions.
Well,
because the reason why they don't do that is because if the minute they go and do we've got an army, what the fuck do you think you're going to do? That would be a basis for another revolution or I hate to say this word, but another rebellion.
Well, it's not, because they're not abiding by precedent in Heller 2,
No,
Bruin, any of that. Let's look at Hawaii. It's the spirit of aloha, motherfucker. What? Huh?
Yeah, I got the spirit of the Second Amendment that I'm going to shove up your ass, up your aloha ass.
They really and truly, there is not a single state that has a constitution that says that they can decide which firearms, which arms at all,
actually,
that citizens own.
Actually, I hate to say this, Coop, and this is bad, but have you looked at every state's constitution?
Just about. None of them have.
Have you noticed that some of them don't even have a Second Amendment in them?
Yeah, but look at this. We're talking about explicit powers. So any power not explicitly allowed by a constitution falls to the people, not the government. So like even California, they may not have a Second Amendment, but there's nothing in that constitution that tells the government they can do something.
Yeah. Well, Agarizer on the free Ross, I don't know, but I'm hoping something happens on CRS. Seriously,
I'm hoping so too, brother.
Because he got a raw deal there,
dude. In a world with any kind of justice in it, when he got out, all his charges would be wiped away, and him and his grandkids would be set for life.
Yeah. Anyway,
due to the injustice that was done to him.
But as I was saying, in some states, they don't have a Second Amendment in their constitution. So that's why they think they can dictate anything on firearms and get away with it, because it's not explicitly stated in their state constitution, even though it is in federal. And I hate to say this, but that's the problem. If your state does not have it set in the state constitution, that gives them the leeway, however small it is.
Well, it's thing. If you understand how these documents are supposed to work, the governments are only allowed to do the explicit things that the constitutions list. And if a power, and reading some of the founders stuff, if the powers for a certain thing aren't listed specifically for the government, then all of those fall back to the people. But lawyers are mostly just trash, have completely destroyed that idea.
Remember, anything we say is our opinion and only that. We are not held liable for anything you do or don't do legally, in a court of law. Just be aware.
And opinions are like assholes, and everyone else stinks but mine.
Exactly. And remember, I'm not a lawyer because my parents were married.
I'm not a lawyer because my parents weren't first cousins.
So,
Blue Curtain said CRS will be out before his appeal. Appeal will be clear as record. Sad, but dude.
Yeah.
I hope so. Because I just want to see him to get home with his kids. Dude.
Because he's not the one suffering. His wife isn't the one suffering. It's his children that are suffering because of this.
Well, I mean, they're all suffering, but the kids are taking the hardest hit.
Yeah. Well, I see the kids are suffering the most because it's not like CRS or his wife haven't had to deal with bullshit before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The kids are taking the hardest hit. But
Kurt said, "I'm not a lawyer, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express." Yes,
yeah.
You did. So
dude, judging by the arguments that are made sometimes in these oral arguments we listen to by the supposedly pro-gun side, I could walk up there and argue that thing all day long 10 times better than them.
And I wonder if they're really trying hard at all when they go and make some of these arguments, because it's like, dude, don't you know how to use a fucking firearm? Seriously? This is the best you've got?
And we talked about on streams doing some of the oral arguments that these pro-gun lawyers in a lot of cases, or lawyers for the pro-gun side, are just as ignorant about firearms as those judges and then the far left people bringing the cases.
I mean, if I didn't want to be on the dark side, I'd be a lawyer right now.
And yeah, Blue, you're right about that too. We're Monday morning quarterbacking a lot of it.
Right.
They're up there actually doing it, but yeah, there's a lot of times where these judges ask or start to ask questions, and my immediate thought would be like, "No, that's simple. How do we prove that people in California want all these high capacity magazines?" Well, because, Your Honor, in the week where they could buy them, people bought millions of them.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying, Blue Curtain Burner, but it's just, if you've heard some of these situations with us, when Coop's been recording it, and it's just like, did he really just say it like that? I thought he was supposed to be on our side.
Yeah. They've definitely argued sometimes, and it's like, I thought that was supposed to be the dude that's on our side,
right?
Because he just said some shit that sounds like it came straight from the left's position.
Yeah. And again, and I don't know what the game plan of some of these lawyers are, but they need to stop trying to placate all the Democratic Supreme Court justices and just try and appeal to as many conservative judges on the Supreme Court instead, in order to get decisions through. Because we all know that the Democrats are just going to argue with you, complain, whine, and say a lot of bullshit, just to block you, instead of actually making it a proper decision on the court of law, or on the definition of the law.
Oh,
so
yeah, it's even with all the briefs and stuff they get, and I realize these judges can't know everything about everything, and I realize these lawyers can't know everything about everything. But
don't lie and say you're a gun lawyer and know nothing about firearms.
Yeah, Thomas Mag has always been good about stuff. I mean, he's been pretty straightforward, and there are a couple others that are, but there's some of them, they act like they don't know jack.
The one I don't trust at all is Adam Kraut.
I don't
trust him at all.
I haven't spent I used to watch some of his stuff, but I haven't really spent any time paying attention to him for the last, I don't know, couple of years, 2 years probably.
I don't trust him at all.
I had a different feeling about him back then. Maybe if I started looking at him now, who knows? I might develop that same feeling.
Well, the minute he tried to get elected to the NRA board, that was it for me.
Dude, there's some good people that have tried to get elected to the NRA board because they believe they can turn that ship around. So I can't hold that against him.
Eventually, someone may be able to, but until that happens, I mean, the only reason I'm a member is because it was $10, and Wayne LaPierre is not in charge anymore.
I still am not throwing money at them until they become a freaking nightmare for the left, because they are throwing money at every gun case out there. Like Dexter Taylor. Dexter Taylor is a perfect example of a guy who was, a law-abiding citizen his entire life, good job, family, all this shit. All he did was he built his own guns, and then the New York and all the spying that happens, figure out he's building guns, they put his ass in prison. The NRA should have been in front of that motherfucker from day one.
Sad but true.
Anyways,
Blue Curtain Burner says, at Night Strike, yeah, but can't forget that 6-3 conservative majority is really 3 conservatives, 3 liberals, and 3 that play in the middle.
Yeah.
Those 3 in the middle require the argument to be flexible. Yeah, I know.
Damien, what's up, brother? And Zany Misfit.
Zany and Damien's out there. Yep. So, but we're just having a conversation about this. We're not trying to throw anything down right now. We're just talking about it. That lawyer should be behind bars. Yeah. Yeah. So do we know if California's still burning or not? Is California still on fire? I just figured I mentioned it because I thought it was funny. You know, they're bordered to an ocean, but they can't find any water to put the fire out. You know, it's like, well, you know, if you had,
I'm trying to set up all these apps on this new. Hey, my mom. We were talking about my shitty ass phone the other night. My mom got me a phone for my birthday.
Well, happy birthday! I got you the capture card for your birthday and Christmas.
Yeah, and I very much appreciate it.
Yeah. But no, I was just saying, you know, the funny thing about the whole California fires is 30, 40 years ago, California got like millions and millions of dollars to build a desalination plant to just pull water, process it, and then just, you know, take care of most of Southern California. And you know what happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. The governor, Jerry Brown at the time, decided to embezzle all of those funds. And yeah, it never got built.
Oh man, they
you heard about that one, right?
Yeah. That state is so absolutely mismanaged and it ain't even funny. And it has been for decades.
I know. But it's not like anything's new. But, you know, honestly, you need a desalination plant in Northern California and Southern California. The reason why is to get water. And, you know, don't use the water for drinking per se, but use it for everything else, like watering the lawns, livestock, you know, just anything else. And it's environmentalist, well, that'll create too much salt. Well, then process the salt to be used to consume. Yeah, it takes a bit more time, but then you have somewhere to put all that salt.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not rocket science. It's just, you know, nobody wants to think. That's the problem.
Them just building reservoirs like they should.
Zanti, when isn't Newsom embezzling? Everyone knows that.
Dude. There's so many things California can do, and they get stopped from doing it, and they use the freaking Endangered Species Act or EPA and all these government agencies to actually stop California from basically developing the state, developing the land. It's absolutely insane. California could be one of the absolute, even without Hollywood, take Hollywood out of the equation. California could be the absolute richest state in the nation. They have plenty of natural resources if they will manage them. But they turn around, they look like one of these damn countries over in Africa that has all the resources in the world, could look like freaking Dubai if they wanted to, but they're too busy throwing rocks at one another.
Chessboard says, hello, Coop. It's too cold outside to be hanging out.
Yeah, it is. Chessboard, what's up, my brother?
Well, it depends on whether you're hanging low and to the left or low and to the right.
They're saying possibly starting Saturday or tomorrow or Sunday, we're supposed to get snow. And then a couple days later, Monday, Tuesday, we're supposed to get snow right here. They're forecasting.
Yeah, they're forecasting it's going to be all over the South.
So we'll see. My boss said he was looking at something, said there was a hell of an ice band that was headed our way. Yeah, well, I got to tomorrow go grab my little generator and fire it up. It ain't worth, firing everything up, but it'll help with some.
I'm probably going to get my generators out this afternoon. and go turn them over for a minute.
Yeah, I need to go get me a couple gallons of gas. That one little generator I got, it's a little, what do they call it?
I got
a Northern Tool.
I got a Champion 5500 and I've got a Generac GP 5500.
Oh,
So-
that Generac, yeah.
So both of them are starting watts are 6500 watts, and then the running watts are like 5500.
January 2025, New England has less snow than Virginia.
Ooh, ooh.
It ain't the craziest shit we're going to see this year.
No,
It's,
you know what would be crazy, and I'd be happy if it happened, but I don't think it's going to. If that remove the NFA bill actually went through,
that would be beautiful. And that was an argument I made the other day about
that would so piss the Democrats off. That way, because if the NFA bill went away, then so does the Hughes Amendment.
Yeah,
because the Hughes Amendment banks on the NFA.
There was, like I said, I was going to say, that's the argument I made over the bill to get rid of the ATF. If you just get rid of the organizations, but you put all the jobs in the hands of these other agencies, all you do is reshuffle the deck. The NFA, actually getting the NFA knocked down, and it never should have withstood its first challenge. Getting that knocked down would be massive.
Because I don't think the Supreme Court's gonna knock it down.
No. Listening to the Supreme Court and some of the arguments from the bump stock and stuff, I don't think any of them have the heart to do it. Even though all they have to do is say,
I wouldn't say that.
unconstitutional.
I'd say Thomas does, but that's about the only one.
Well, Thomas totes his balls in front of him on a wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
Got a Portal Cable 55 watt. Amazon brand new for $228 overnight free to hell. Yeah, Chess. That was a screaming ass deal. Chaos, what's up, brother?
Chaos is out there. Wow. See, you're popular.
No, you'd be amazed how many different people I follow.
Yeah,
I check into Chaos' stream to watch him, smoke a bong and run around crazy trying to land helicopters on top of flying airplanes.
Ooh, was he playing GTA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was working hard too. He just couldn't quite stick the landing.
Yeah. You gotta land, you gotta land. I mean, if I play Grand Theft Auto online, that's Grand Theft Auto 5 online. I've got the DeLorean.
So let me ask you.
And they've added to that DeLorean to where it goes into flight mode like from Back to the Future 2, and then they added machine guns and rocket launchers on it. And I love flying that thing around. I tell you. Yeah, they call it the Deluxo in GTA because of copyright issues. But it's just DeLorean that they've added wings to it when it goes into flight mode, and it's got machine guns and rockets on it. It's great.
That is fucking funny as hell.
Yeah, there's also the crotch rocket, which is a motorcycle that does the same thing that flies, but it's got rockets and machine guns on it.
That is absolutely hysterical.
Yeah, I'll show you sometime. It'd be hilarious.
I haven't played. I can't remember the last GTA I played. Yeah, it's been years.
I mean, my favorite GTA, hands down, was Vice City.
Dude, my favorite, hands down, was good old San Andreas.
The reason why I say Vice City is because I've been playing GTA since 1 and 2. I didn't really like 1 and 2 because of the top-down style.
Yeah.
I love 3 because you could just go open. It is the first true open world. But
Chess. Yeah, we looked at that earlier,
Yeah.
where they banned the guy from the senator from entering the House, even though it was a joint session. He's constitutionally required to be there. and they push him down. He gets back up. The police the state troopers get in his way and then arrest him. Yeah, we saw that. It's a fucking clown show.
Was he Republican or Democrat?
It's a Republican, and he's a Republican senator. And I don't know the whole story. I'm just now kind of getting into the weeds on it. But either way, there was the Speaker of the House who ran the House for a very long time passed. And this dude basically said that guy was an absolute crook and crooked as hell, I guess. I'll find his original statement. So the next member or the next leader of the House actually put in a bill and banned him from entering House chambers, regardless of if it is a joint session where he is required to be there or anything. So he went to try to go to a joint session the other night.
Well, that I hate to say that, but you can't do that. That's against the law. Because he's an elected official. You can't make a law to ban an elected official from serving his term.
Welcome to the Banana Republic Communist States of America. You got that right.
Yeah, I know.
As long as you don't say, did you know?
Have you heard that?
Oh God, there it is. Did you know? Have you heard?
Did you know that? Have you heard that?
Z, what's up, brother? That is a joke in between me and Night Strike because we stream those
the South Carolina stuff.
Yeah, the South Carolina permitless carry hearings, and one of the most annoying women on this planet had to start every sentence off with, "Well, did you know?
Did you know that? Have you heard that?"
Yeah. Man.
But by the way, she was wrong. There's not blood in the streets.
No, there never is.
And you know what? If people open carry, it's fine. If they don't, it's fine. You know why? Because there's other people open carrying or concealed carrying anyways.
It's been funny watching this shit. So we heard in every state and heard it in Alabama, it's going to be blood in the street. Judges are going to be shot. Kittens are going to be jumping off bridges. All this shit.
Not
we
kittens.
want constitutional carry. Then we saw the arguments for a couple other states, and we saw them for South Carolina. Now, all these states have gone to some form of permitless carry, and Democrats right now are bragging that all these gun crimes and stuff are down, and it's because of the Safer Communities Act. What? Huh?
Mm-hmm. I know.
This is what they're basing on. Well, we have more gun laws. But weren't there supposed to be bodies stacked like 12 deep since all these states went constitutional carry? I mean, I was supposed to be having to kick skulls out of my way just to walk to my truck in the morning. 100% chaos, and that is the perfect thing. Armed society is a polite society, and it is. If someone realizes they do not have a monopoly on force, and if they fuck around, they're going to find out, possibly, people tend to be more polite. I'm a hell of a lot more polite when I carry. I try to be polite anyway, but crazy times. I really think with that miscellaneous list that came out, I think they're going to kick the can again on these cases.
Sadly.
It's how long do you think it's going to take the first, like Thomas or Alito? How long do you think it's going to take them to retire after Trump gets in office?
I don't think Alito's going to retire. I think Thomas might, but Thomas will do it early enough to where we can get somebody else in if he does.
Oh yeah, I think he's going to hit it pretty early.
Yeah, Z's like, Coop, your internet is working. Well, don't jinx him.
Yeah. I would give it, I would say, inside of a year after Trump takes office.
Oh, after you're done on air, I got something to show you off air.
More feet pics. Come on, trim your toenails. By the way,
no, and ew.
At least paint them.
No, that's not it at all. I've got the FDE VZ61 receiver down.
Ooh, nice.
And I've got the pistol grip for it now too.
What the hell am I looking at?
What the hell?
Tell me this thumbnail stays there.
Thomas seems to be waiting for an assault weapons ban case. Everybody is, because if an assault weapons ban case gets ruled on and it gets struck down in the Supreme Court, that means it's blanket all over the country that nobody can put an assault weapons ban in anymore. And that's the kind of shit we need. Because that way, even if the Democrats get in office, they can't strike it, they can't institute it again.
Hold on. Let me see something, because this is just a thumbnail. But what in the wild world of Ukrainian sports am I looking at in this thumbnail?
Hey man, do not talk about my Ukrainian bros like that. I mean, I really hope they finish wiping the floor with the Russians. Because on the Ukrainian-Russian front, I support the Ukrainians over the Russians just because the factor that I remember the Cold War. I'd rather have the Russians be on my side than the Ukrainians be on my side than the Russians. I'll tell you that.
This is what I'm talking about.
Oh, I like.
What in the Wile E. Coyote engineering is this critter?
I don't know, but I need to build one.
I would love to build one.
It looks like those are silenced AKs.
They're 74s, judging by the mag.
With silencers on them.
Or no, those might be 47s. That mag's got a little bit of bend in it.
No, mag's got a bend. It's 47.
Yeah.
It's a line of 47s with silencers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6. Then I'm counting. I ain't got the greatest eyes.
Maybe that's an anti-air gun.
With a shield on probably a.
Okay, maybe it's an anti-personnel gun. I don't know.
I don't think that could be a Dishka tripod. I don't know. Either way, someone did some fabrication and we have this thing.
I'm okay with that.
I'm not hating on it.
I'd like to know how they did it. I'd like to get some information so I can make one myself.
Yeah, I would dig on that.
Yeah, so
for sure. All right, let's get back to normal magnification on that. But I just saw that thumbnail and was like, "What? No, huh, what?"
Oh, another guy you should check out is that guy who's in the Virginia state government, Nick Freitas.
Oh yeah, Nick Freitas. Yeah, I follow him.
Dude is legit.
Freitas is absolutely legit.
I mean,
legit.
Did you see the video of him just completely destroying the Democrats that made him viral?
Dude, I've seen so many.
It's the one where he says, "You don't want common sense. You don't want to have common sense control. You just want to take away things because anything that's black looks scary to you."
Oh yeah.
That
he's given speeches on the House floor like that quite a few times.
Like and that's why he says whenever you ask to negotiate, it's either your way or the highway. You're not actually negotiating at all.
No, the left never negotiates.
Yeah.
Ever. That's why some people, and again, I could be wrong. Maybe they see something I don't see. But a lot of people are going, well, the Republicans kind of work with them on the Safer Communities Act, so they're going to work with us on this act or that act when it comes to guns. No, they're not.
Yeah, don't count on it.
No, they're not.
After the last 4 years, don't count on the Republicans helping the Democrats on shit.
I was driving home listening to something, and I can't remember which Democrat it was, but they're talking about fairness and all this shit. And they want fairness all of a sudden when they're not in control anymore. But when they're driving the bus, they just want you to sit in the back, shut the fuck up, and let them do their thing. And the Republicans, Jesus Christ, man, how many times can you just be punched in the face before you decide, we don't care what the news is going to say, we don't care what the mainstream media is going to report, we're going to do what the people want us to do. There is no playing nice with them. Ooh, hold on. Please tell me this is what I think it is. Oh, no, this is another guy. But apparently CNN's having to pay a Navy SEAL because they were slandering him, and they just lost about a $5 million suit. I'm down for that. Anytime CNN or one of those asshats loses their shit, check out this. All right, let's see. Hold on. Let me pull the Tubi U's back up over here. That way I can snatch that, brother. The YouTubes. All right, now I got that up. I wish in the private chat on StreamYard, you can pick links up and open them. In the general chat on StreamYard, you can't. And I don't see what the freaking deal is with that. Oh, God. That's the quad right there. Hold on. Let me see. That thing is a monster. 4 Gatling guns.
Ooh.
This thing is a work of art. All those tracers just bouncing off into no man's land.
I think that's mounted on an aircraft carrier or a naval ship. I think that's an anti-air gun.
Oh, it's an anti whatever the hell it wants to be gun. But yeah, you use something like that definitely for an anti-air.
I don't know if that's Aegis or not.
What was that?
Chaos asks
the Aegis system.
It might be the Aegis system. I don't know. I've never seen it fired.
If you look down there, you can see the dude actually moving that one. Now, are there some systems that like that probably Aegis connect? Yeah, probably so. Yeah, in reality, Fluffy, that's more than likely what he brought it in on. But as far as application and what you typically see it on, that would definitely be vehicle mounted, boat mounted. Definitely, anything you want purposes, but definitely an anti-air roll. That joker would put a hurting on a drone swarm for a little bit. I've seen mounts done like that, actual mounts done like that with 50 cals. So you got 4 Maul Deuces running. Well, I haven't seen one in person. Well, no, I think I did see one at a museum one time. But I know those have been used for decades. It was shooting at drones in the video? Okay. Do you know what shoot that was, Z? Because I think there was one, I think it was called Dry Creek. I think they shut that machine gun shoot down a couple years ago. There's another one in Kentucky. I can't remember the name of it. Appalachian Tactical. Hell yeah. I have to beef up my suspension a little bit. Because I'm pretty sure that joker ain't light. At all. Just the guns themselves. Hell, just the ammo alone to feed that thing for a little bit. It's got to be a couple $100.
Yeah, and a couple $1,000.
Couple thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yep.
Knob Creek. That's what it was, Chris. Yeah, Knob Creek.
Yep. Knob Creek.
Oh man, this is another one. They'd make a damn leftist anti-guns head explode to realize how many people are out there with some serious hardware. But someone's gonna no, they're not.
No, they're not.
The person running it is the one who has the decision. It's guns can't kill people unless a person actually, uses it. Except in very specific circumstances, catastrophic malfunctions, maybe. But that's not a feature of the firearm, unless you got a sky pistol.
Oh, don't even talk about that. You got a sky pistol. You got to worry about the pins ovaling out.
Oh man, my wife was over at the gun shop one day. It's been months ago to go see her, stop in. I can't remember whether something with kiddos or whether it was just a stop by. It was the first time I had held a sky pistol. And this lady, I think it was, I can't remember, Cerakote or something on it. That was the worst feeling grip, the worst feeling trigger that I've ever held in my hands.
No, see, the worst feeling grip that I've ever held in my hand is the Glock 17.
I've gotten used to the 17s.
And the reason I say the 17 is because that's the one that started that weird Glock style grip.
Yeah, Glocks don't bother me as much as they used to.
I mean,
but now I don't own a Glock. All my shit's polymer 80s.
I've got polymer 80s too, and I've got PSA daggers. And the daggers, they've changed the grip a little bit so where it's more tolerable. So yeah. But it's just that original Glock 17 grip. No thank you.
Yeah, the angle, the angle on the
feels wrong.
has always been more that wrist forward.
Yeah.
Which back in the day when the first time I actually shot a Glock, I didn't know jack shit.
Not much has changed.
Yeah, no, not much changed at all. But I was just there to throw some rounds through a gun, and then rented that one and shot it, and rented a 44 Colt Python and shot it, or was it Anaconda? Just playing. For the longest time, I didn't own anything like that.
Yeah, Fluffy Bunny, my PSA dagger is based off of the 19. So is my Polymer 80s. But you know, the issue is the Polymer 80s and the PSA dagger. Doesn't matter what variant. They changed the ergonomics on the pistol grip, so it doesn't feel wrong like the 17 does. Z says Glock grip was wrong from the start, and they just stuck with it. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. The grip angle is why I don't own any Glocks. Yeah, I know. I don't either. I own Polymer 80s and I own PSA daggers. They're not Glocks. I'm only supporting American companies.
Oh, it looks like I'm actually, well, we're going to be off Monday anyway.
Yep. Maybe we can do some streaming then.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's see if we can, if we're both awake, stream the inauguration.
Yeah.
And wave goodbye to Uncle Sniffy. Let him waddle his ass on off into the sunset.
Well, I'm hoping he falls up a flight of stairs.
Yeah, that would work for me. Did you see he gave another farewell speech today?
I saw the one the other night. I'm like, wow, bitter much?
Dude, did you see them give Merrick Garland the damn Tommy gun?
He don't deserve it.
I'm kind of stuck on the fence about certain things. Whether it is they know they're laughing in our face and we can't do anything about it, and that's just the way it is, or whether they think so little about us that they don't even think when they do stuff, they don't even consider our opinions in it at all.
Of course they don't. All our job is to vote for them and stay the hell out of their way.
That's pretty much where I'm thinking we're at.
And you know, yeah, you vote for us and you get us in office, but we are not required to do anything for you other than just, you know, listen to your emails. That's it.
Yeah.
And then send you a bullshit response back saying, yeah, I don't give a fuck what you say. I'm going to vote how I'm going to vote.
Or, yeah, we're going to submit this to the Federal Register where only a very small number of people even know to go look for it. And we're going to wait for your comments. And when all your comments are in, we're just going to tell you to pound sand and do what we want to anyway.
Yep. Well, which is why I'm telling you, if they decide to take the Jackson route on future court decisions like that, saying, well, you know what? It doesn't matter what the Supreme Court says. Supreme Court doesn't have an army. And if they take that route, then I hate to say it, the people may be whistling Dixie again.
Look at what a lot of these courts are doing with gun laws. You know, Bruin came out. Bruin pretty much told them, "Hey, you can't do these things," and they're still doing them.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bruin never existed. They're finding their way back and adding, you know, intermediate scrutiny back into everything, and they're just thumbing their nose. But until there are actual negative consequences to them, they get thrown out of the court. They actually get charged with something. They're just going to continue to do it.
Yep.
And we're being these fights and being these fights and being these fights and being these fights. And every time we slap one down, they're going to pick it right back up. Personally, I'd like to see it to where if some of these dumbasses pass an unconstitutional law, if anybody was put in jail under their law, put in prison under their law, when it hits the courts and it's found to be unconstitutional, whoever wrote that bill, whoever voted for that bill, goes to prison for the amount of time that they sent people to prison for. So if you locked up 95 people for a year a pop, guess what you get? 95 years. But we'll never see that kind of check or balance.
No, we don't have checks and balances anymore. That used to.
No.
It's a myth.
We got blatant searches. We got a shitload of that. I had a shite load.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna head out. I will
All right,
see you
brother.
later. You take it easy. Just text me when you want to mess with that shit. All right.
Yeah, good deal, brother. We'll hit you up after a while.
Yep. Later.
All right, later. I'm gonna text the wife in a minute because she was, I thought, supposed to be here already. What I got? I think I got. I believe I got. I am seriously hoping that miscellaneous list does not mean that they are not going to take these cases yet. It says, what, Chess? Marathon? No, I'm not planning on it being a marathon. I was planning on killing a little bit of time till the wife got home and then shooting out of here and headed to the in-laws. But either she got hung up at work or forgot me. Because we were supposed to be headed to her parents at 5. Did you watch James Freeman? He's Arizona sheriff that is created his own secret militia of his buddies. I don't know whether I've seen that, brother. I don't. In Arizona, there were a couple things in Arizona that almost sound familiar to that, but I don't want to say that I do because I could be thinking about 3 different other things. Let me see something real quick.
Yeah.
Hey, I was hitting something else and I accidentally hung up on the phone.
Okay.
Because I thought so. It's tomorrow that we're doing the Friendsgiving extra thing tomorrow.
No, today.
And I thought you said we were going to be there. You had to be there at 5.
Dinner.
Yeah, sorry. I just got all discombobulated. Discombobulated. Check it out if you get a minute. Yeah, dude, I'll have to check it out. Because it does sound interesting. Me and the wife had some times crossed up on when we were supposed to be somewhere, so. Shit, if I'd known that, we could been looking at some other stuff. I was still, for some reason, man, I was expecting her to be off early today, and I have no idea why. And none in Lincoln County. Okay. Dude, do you guys remember the original Bundy standoff? Phil, what's up, brother? No, it's not an AR farting. It's like got flames coming out of it, like it's on wheels. It was for I was making fun of gun trafficking, so it's an AR with wheels and like a flame out the back of it. Kind of say one of those retarded ass bills Democrats bought up, and it is what it is. I'm gonna wait till 5 to check this fucking order list again. Gas piston power, hell yeah. So basically everything on that wall, with the exception of 1 or 2, is all just making fun of these retarded ass gun laws that started popping out when Biden took over. Got the ATF back there. You ain't wrong, Phil. You ain't wrong. It's so scary. Mine are even spookier because those guns. Don't give a dyslexic a mirror. Those guns. There's some of those spooky ass ghost guns. Spooky, spooky, spooky. But it's an open floor, guys. Anybody bounce in, wants to bounce in the chat, go ahead and bounce in. We're just hanging out. I didn't think I was going to be able to hang out this long, so now you guys got to keep me awake till the wife gets here. Let's see. There was I got so much open shit on my computer some days, not even funny. Mean that they are not going to take these cases yet. Oh man, that freaking list coming out does not give me the warm and fuzzies. So in case anybody doesn't know, we're still waiting to hear whether the Supreme Court is going to take up 2 gun cases. And they went to conference today, and we're waiting on the order lists to come out. There was a miscellaneous list that came out. It's probably been 2 hours ago now. It had to do with the TikTok stuff, and then it listed granted for cert 5 other cases. Does not give me the warm and fuzzies that the court is going to go ahead and pick up Snope, Brown, and Gray today. Hey, it rhymed. You got to go get an emissions test done, Z? Oh, God. Have fun with that. Years ago, working for a company, I picked up a brand new Mazda, can't remember what size truck that is, like B2500, whatever they call them. Brand new truck off the lot. Drove it 3 blocks to get an emissions test, and it would not pass. So, yeah, emissions tests. Anybody doing those needs to be punched in the... I didn't say that. Blaming it on me not having any cigarettes. That's what I'm saying. Didn't know your tags were expired for 2 years. Hey, I forget plenty of stuff. I wouldn't put that shit past me either. At all, whatsoever. I've got to look into that. I must have just packed that one list just slam full of. I've seriously got to get better about picking where to put some of the videos that I want to look at, because I squirrel them away, and I am like a squirrel. I just lose them. I know one thing. I hope to God I can stream the Kash Patel hearings, because I think those are going to be some of the best coming ones. Which I'll ask you guys, if you've been paying attention to the confirmation hearings, which ones do you think are going to be the best, or has the best already hit? Because ain't like I'm watching football, so I might as well talk about something that interests me. I think Kash Patel's hearing is going to be really fucking interesting. Oh, fuck. Hold on. Let me look at something. California loves emission tests. Oh yeah, I want to say they were some of the first ones I ever heard of doing emissions tests, which that kind of fits for them. They tend to drive a lot of stuff with with just about anything as far as environmental shit. Yeah, Biden claims there's already a 28th Amendment. I didn't hear about all these states getting together on that one. I didn't hear about anything getting amended lately.
Drug clause for seniors is capped at $2,000 no matter how expensive their drugs are. Even expensive cancer drugs that cost $10,000, $12,000, $14,000. They're not going to pay more than $2,000 a year. And finally, we gave Medicare the power to negotiate lower drug prices like the VA has been able to do for veterans all along. These negotiations are being implemented in phases. The first phase, negotiate a lower price for the 10 most expensive drugs for seniors, covering drugs for blood clots and so much more. And just this morning, I announced the next phase, the next 15 drugs subject to negotiation. Drugs that will treat cancer, heart disease, diabetes, and so much more, including Ozempic.
Oh, yeah, we paying for it.
But it really is an incredible drug. These reforms just don't save seniors money.
Yeah, here's the damned of it is. One of the reasons that a lot of these medications have been so expensive in the United States is because all these other countries put in their price controls on it. So that all got shifted off onto us. Well, now it's down to the United States government putting in these price controls for people in Medicaid, Medicare, all that. So where's that cost going to go? It's going to go to the people like me and you and a lot of other people who are on our own health insurance. So then we're going to see our shit skyrocket some more. If it keeps up, then companies are going to stop manufacturing drugs. We'll see shortages. They're going to definitely quit any kind of innovation. You know, new hip surgeries, knee replacements, all that kind of stuff. They're just going to start cutting that shit out. Not that I got any love for insurance companies. I fucking don't. But eventually someone's got to pay a bill. Checks come due. And that's what these idiots, it's when these numbnuts will tell you, well, this vial insulin costs $10. Well, that very specific insulin might. This insulin might cost $130. Just the production. Then you got to add in all this assorted costs that are built into that product. The transport, what you have to do when you transport, shelf life, all that shit works into it. Government fund research, just take it over. That is highly possible. We are on the edge of some really kind of shady shit coming up.
They saved the American taxpayer $160 billion. The taxpayer over the next decade. Why? that $160 billion in Medicare is saving.
And the
by
idea
negotiating
when they
lower
talk
drug
about
prices from Big
taxpayer
Pharma
this, rich
doesn't have
people
to be
that,
paid out by the government.
the idea that somehow the
$160
government
billion.
should be able to take money
Second,
away from you
just over 100
and
years
allow
ago, a
you,
pioneering group of women
you to keep a portion of
proposed the
it.
Equal Rights Amendment to enshrine the
Absolutely
principles of
insane.
gender equality in our Constitution.
Oh, here's the
Throughout
28.
my career, I've been clear. No one should be discriminated against based on their sex. And in order for the amendment to be ratified, it requires 3/4 of the states to ratify it. That benchmark was passed when Virginia ratified the ERA a few years ago. Today, I affirm the Equal Rights Amendment to have cleared all the necessary hurdles to be added to the U.S. Constitution now.
I don't think that's unless I missed some big news. I don't think that's happened yet, Uncle Sniffy. I don't think that's happened. I could be wrong. Maybe they snuck the 28th in under my nose. But I don't think that's happened yet. They got him hopped up on some shit. They turned him loose a little too early. You know, I haven't seen this yet. Let's expose the crowd to this one. Since I'm just hanging out. You can jump over to C-SPAN. Of course, I can find it a couple different places.
Everyone participating here clause of our oath of office.
Anthony Blinken, another one that should have been out a long time ago. Hey, I'll tell you what, guys. I just saw Red Dawn was going live. Let's go ahead and stop this one and head over to Red. Let me pull a link real fast.
My executive assistant, Paul Moraine, and our special assistants.
If my computer will wake up.
To OMS, who kept us going.
But I'm going to stop this one anyway. If I crank another one back up, it'll be later on tonight. So yeah, let me shoot this one. I get something to eat, chill for a little bit. Let's head over to Red Dawn. Go hang out.
I took the elevator up to the 6th floor.
Anyway, you personally cool. Let's get out of here for a little bit. Go hang out with Red. Love you guys to death.
I walked into my new office.
Later.
Its previous occupant had been a very large safe.